Good morning, friends, and welcome to this meditation summit. I'd like to start by explaining the expression that I've used in the title of this session, which is true meditation. There are many styles of meditation, many hundreds of styles of meditation, and mostly they add benefits, depending on, of course, on how they're practiced. I use the expression true meditation to refer to an approach to meditation which accelerates our journey on the path of growth, healing, and spirituality. True meditation accelerates the natural evolution of consciousness from an ego-dominated consciousness, which is identified with the body, the mind, as a sense of self, to more expansive levels of consciousness, where self is associated with the infinite field of consciousness, or spirit, or big mind. In this way, true meditation gradually liberates us from an ego identity, which is based on limiting beliefs and contracted, fear-based viewpoints and attitudes. True meditation will challenge our limiting sense of identity and, through the practice, move us towards more openness, more spaciousness, more peace, more joy, more stillness, and a completely liberated sense of who we are, our true self. True meditation is not about achieving, attaining, or becoming something else. These sorts of efforts only create striving and struggle. True meditation is about discovering the ever-present, unaffected, free, peaceful, true self and resting in your being. So there are active and passive styles of meditation, and as well as active and passive styles of meditation, as you practice a style of meditation, there are phases in the practice that are more active, where there is a degree of effort, and this should lead into phases of the meditation where there's less effort, more being and less doing. The style of meditation that I'm referring to as true meditation is a mindfulness style of meditation. And mindfulness meditation has active and less active or passive styles, phases in the practice. The active style, the active phase of practice, is in choosing to be more fully present. So using awareness of breath, using awareness of body sensations, using awareness of feelings or emotions, awareness of thoughts, we create a sense of presence through the choice to bring our awareness, bring our attention in more fully into our present moment experience. In each meditation, the active phase of the meditation should lead into a more restful, effortless, passive phase of the meditation, where we rest in our true nature, in our being. You can try too hard in meditation, too much effort. And with too much effort, there's too many expectations of what is to be achieved. And again, as I said, this creates struggle. It creates false hopes. And we wait for something to happen. When in what I refer to as true meditation, nothing is meant to happen. By choosing to be present, we begin to relax into our being. So words like letting go, surrender, acceptance, and presence are more relevant than trying, striving, struggling, and hoping to achieve something. So let's start with an idea of mindfulness meditation, a definition, if you like, of mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation starts by choosing to be more fully present. This is the active phase of the meditation. We choose to be more fully present by attending to our present moment experience. Sounds, breathing, sensations, feelings, and thoughts. As we choose to be present with an open awareness, we notice that there will be some resistance from our thinking mind. Our habits of excessive thinking will be drawn into a thinking commentary, perhaps many times as you meditate. So the resistance is mental noise or incessant mental chatter. We have to accept the resistance. And then we continually choose to be present. We come back, we open our attention again so that our attention isn't dominated by the thinking commentary. We choose to be present with patience and perseverance. Patience is the kindness that we bring into meditation, the acceptance that we bring into meditation, and perseverance is the commitment, perhaps even the discipline, the self-discipline to continue, to keep coming back and starting again, having accepted the resistance of the thinking mind. Mindfulness isn't about getting rid of thoughts. If we try to get rid of thoughts, we start to have thoughts about our thoughts, judgments of our thoughts. And this is like a cat chasing its own tail. So we accept our thoughts. We can even watch the parade of thoughts without fighting them and without feeding them, as we choose to come back and open our attention. Let's practice that for just a couple of minutes now, a mini meditation to get this, to embed this definition of mindfulness meditation. So if you'd like to join me in just closing your eyes, sitting with a fairly upright posture. You can adjust your posture if you need to. Let's start by taking a few slow, deep breaths. Breathing right down into your belly. This is the preparation for the meditation. One more slow, deep breath. And now allow the breath to find its own depth and rhythm, to just breathe itself. And bring your attention to the space or the field in front of your closed eyes. It's like a field of darkness. There's probably some muted shapes or colours in that field. We just use the awareness of this space in front of the eyes as a starting point for the meditation. As we begin to move our attention or shift our attention from thinking to awareness. As you rest your attention in that space in front of the eyes, notice the sounds that are coming to you, just listening. As you're listening to the sounds, notice that they're passing through the field of awareness. Sounds appear, they move through the field of awareness, and they disappear. And from the sounds, open your attention a little further to notice the feeling of your breathing, just your natural breathing. Notice the slight rising and falling of the breath. You might notice it in your chest or your belly. Now open your awareness to notice both the sounds and your breathing. And just like the sounds, your breath is appearing in the field of awareness and then changing and moving through. Sounds coming and going. Breath rising and falling. They're both appearing in the field of your awareness. The awareness is just watching. Now for the last aspect of this meditation, from your breathing, open your attention to notice whatever thoughts are popping into your mind. Maybe thoughts about the meditation or about something else altogether. Just be curious to watch thoughts as they appear and move through the field of your awareness. Sounds are coming and going. There's a background of silence. Breath is rising and falling. Thoughts are coming and going. These are the contents of the field of awareness. The contents appear and move through the field of awareness. In the active phase of the meditation, you bring your attention to the contents of your awareness, just as we have been doing. And by being aware of the contents of our awareness, by noticing them, we open our attention so it's more inclusive and less dominated by the thinking commentary. As we continue with the meditation, we can bring some awareness to the field itself in which the contents appeared. And notice that the field of awareness is still and silent. The contents move through the field, they're moving, changing. The field of awareness is still and silent and unaffected by the contents. Now we'll complete that short meditation. When you're ready, open your eyes and we'll come back together again. So we'll just highlight now with this slide the mechanism of mindfulness meditation that we were just practicing. Mindfulness meditation has an active phase where you choose to be present. Choosing to be more fully present means that you open your attention so it's not so dominated by the thinking commentary. The thinking commentary creates a contracted attention, which is dominated by what's referred to as the I thought. Thoughts about I, me, my, and mine. So we're choosing to shift our attention from the thinking commentary, not to fight it, but to open our attention so it's more inclusive of some of the other contents of our present moment experience. Breath, sounds, we could move into body sensations and to feelings, as well as just watching your thoughts. So the mechanism of mindfulness then is shifting attention from thinking to observing. Observing is non-judgmental attention. It's silent. Observing is another name for awareness, being aware of the contents of our experience rather than thinking about them. So this is non-judgmental. We're practicing bringing our attention, choosing to make the thinking commentary or the thought stream less important, and to make non-judgmental attention more important. We shift our attention from thinking to sensing. So this is another way in which we we open our attention so it's not so dominated by thought. We become aware of sounds, breath, feelings in the body, and we observe sensations. So we're choosing to shift attention from thinking to flowing with moment-to-moment experience. We make moment-to-moment experience and experiential reality more important than a conceptual reality that's based on thought, thinking, and particularly the mind chatter that's dominated by the I thought. And the last aspect of understanding the mechanism of mindfulness is that we're shifting attention from judging, analyzing, and evaluating, these are aspects of thinking, to being open, available, and present. Shifting our attention from thoughts to the other contents of our present moment experience facilitates a more open, available, and present awareness that's less dominated by thought. this slide shows you, just contrasts the nature of awareness and thinking. I don't have the time to go into this in a lot of depth, but it is very useful to understand the difference between awareness and thinking, and to notice the incessant habit of excessive thinking. And the way that we moderate that habit is to make thinking less important and to make the observing, witnessing more important, making awareness more important. So the nature of thinking is that it creates a commentary in words and pictures that moves through our mind. It tends to name, to judge, and to analyze, to anticipate, and to create expectations. There are outcomes and agendas that it's carrying. It's busy, it's moving. It tends to jump from the future to the past and from the past to the future with analysis and with expectations. The thinking mind is acquired. We learned it as we learn language, and we learn values that are embedded in the way that we use language from our culture and from our family. And the thinking mind contains one particular voice that can be very dominant, which is the critic. The critic voice is the judge that's comparing and judging right, wrong, good, bad, like, dislike, agree, disagree. This is the reactionary part of our thinking mind, particularly when it's excessive, habitual. Thinking is part of the contents of awareness. The field of awareness itself is silent. It's formless. It's non-judgmental. Formless means that it's not located in space. It helps to get in touch with it by bringing your attention to the space in front of your closed eyes. But the field of awareness is actually undefined. It doesn't have an agenda. Awareness doesn't judge, and it doesn't have a goal. It is just with whatever appears in the field of awareness. Awareness is still and unchanging. It's always now, it's always present. It's original. It wasn't acquired. Even as a baby, before we learnt to speak, before we learnt language, we were aware. And when we fall into deep sleep at night, where there's no thinking and no languaging, the awareness is there, the field of awareness is there. The field of awareness is unaffected by its contents. You can have thoughts, angry thoughts, but the field of awareness isn't affected by those angry thoughts. We can have fearful thoughts. The field of awareness is always free, unaffected, clear, and perfect. It's not tainted by our experience. The field of awareness has been there all through our life. Our life depends on awareness as the essence of life itself. We don't have to create awareness or achieve it. It is our essence. It's our true nature. The contents of awareness come and go and change. The field of awareness is always still, unchanging, and unaffected. So as we practice the mindfulness meditation, we choose to make thinking less important and awareness more important, the observing, witnessing awareness more important. This is the active part of mindfulness meditation. Compulsive habitual mental chatter is excessive and unnecessary thinking. This mental noise creates and sustains a narrow focus of attention, which is dominated by I thoughts about my, me, and mine. This excessive thinking creates a sense of identity that's identified with and attached to our thinking habits, our beliefs, our attitudes, our expectations, and our judgments. This is mindlessness, or constantly living in the past and projecting in the future. This habit of excessive thinking creates and sustains the ego, a separate sense of self, which is fraught with defensiveness, anxiety, dissatisfaction, anger, etc., etc. This separate sense of self creates struggle and suffering. Not that the ego is bad or a mistake, but it's a level of consciousness that we need to grow through, not be attached to, and to use as a fixed sense of identity. Mindfulness begins by observing this habit of excessive thinking and choosing to gradually break the habit by choosing to develop presence. It's a simple, straightforward choice to open our attention so that it's less dominated by thinking. Mindfulness meditation shifts attention from the preoccupation with mental chatter, thoughts, to the other components of our present moment experience, sensations and feelings. This is choosing to be more fully present. And as we continue with mindfulness meditation, we can start to move into the more effortless or passive phase of the meditation, when we become aware of not just the contents of the field of awareness, thoughts, sensations, and feelings, but also the field of awareness itself, which is silent, still, and unchanging, into which thoughts, sensations, and feelings arise. Gradually, with practice, the doing of meditation fades, and we can rest in the field of our awareness, our true self. Our true nature that's always been there, that's never changed, that's always waiting for us to come back home and to rest in the home, in the peacefulness of our true self, the field of awareness. Let's do another mini meditation to complete this session. We'll meditate for 4 or 5 minutes. And in this short meditation, I'll guide you through both the active and the more passive aspects of mindfulness meditation. If you'd like to join me in closing your eyes, and we'll start the meditation by taking 3 slow, deep breaths, breathing right down into your belly. Really make space for the breath. And then allow the breath to find its own depth and rhythm. As you bring your attention to the space in front of your closed eyes, a little up towards the center of the forehead. But relax your eyes. Nothing is meant to be seen or appear there. And whatever is there, some muted shapes or colors, are not important. We just rest our attention. And then we open our awareness to notice the contents of our present moment experience. Let's start by noticing sounds, just listening. Sounds come and go and move through the field of awareness. Notice your breathing, just effortlessly rising and falling, natural breath. Sounds and breath arise, arrive, and pass through the field of awareness. The field of awareness is watching, witnessing, with a gentle interest. Now from the breath, open your awareness a little further to notice where your hands are resting. Notice the touch of your hands as they rest in your lap or on the chair. Notice the temperature and the energy through your hands and fingers. All the small sensations around and through your hands. These small sensations are moving through the field of awareness. They're noticed and they change as they pass through the field of awareness. And now notice, bring your attention to your thinking. Again, with a gentle curiosity, notice what thoughts are passing through your mind or pop into your mind. Just be willing to listen, to observe, without judging, without censoring. Just watch your thoughts. The thinking mind may be very busy, or thoughts may be more sporadic. Just watching your thoughts. Now that for the last minute of this meditation, you can open your field of awareness to notice any or all of these contents of awareness. Notice your breath rising and falling. You're just watching. Sounds are coming and going. Sensations in the body. thoughts appearing, passing through. And you're just watching. The contents of awareness, thoughts, sensations, and feelings are arising, are seen, and pass through the field of awareness. The field of awareness is still, silent, unaffected, and unchanging. It's like a still and silent presence that's just watching. This is your true self, your spiritual nature, always free and unaffected by the contents of our experience. And through true meditation, you can discover and then rest in the field of awareness. Just a half a minute more, watching the breath rising and falling. The sounds may be coming and going. Thoughts may be coming and going. And there's a still and silent presence, the field of awareness that's just watching. Rest in that still and silent presence. Not trying to get away from the contents of experience or change them. Just watching. Now we'll complete this short meditation. As you feel ready, open your eyes and we'll come back together to complete this session. With regular meditation practice, we understand and know and identify our true self as the field of awareness, this silent field of observing. We become more established, our sense of identity becomes more established as the field of awareness, not so much as the changing contents of awareness. This is the path of liberation from attachment to the contents of our awareness, our likes and dislikes, and all of the structures of the ego mind. So with practice, regular practice of meditation, this sense of freedom and spaciousness spills over into our everyday life as we can watch the games of the ego structure, the games and the attachments of our thinking mind. But there's a little distance between the field and the contents. And that distance grows with practice. as we become more established with a sense of identity as the field, the silent, unchanging, unaffected true self. Thank you for attending to this session. Thank you for coming into this summit. And I wish you all the best for your journey of growth, healing, and evolution. I hope that this distinction between the contents of awareness and the field of awareness, your true self, serves you well, this understanding. Be well.